I wondered if maybe they'd go 2 tush pushes, right? Run the first
Yeah.
one, and then if it's 4th and 1, go for it. Just go for it. But anyway, I'll get to you in a minute here. Ryan Clark sitting alongside me. Most unlikely loss of the early season in terms of peak win probability. Eagles had a 97.6% chance to win with 1:56 to go in the fourth. That was 2 plays before the Saquon Barkley drop. As we showed you in the highlights, the exact same action they ran down here around the goal line that nearly got the touchdown, which they got on the next play with the push, the drop there. Atlanta goes length of the field. Often you have a touchscreen. Tonight, Ryan Clark, it's a lot. Let's just talk ball, shall we?
Yeah.
And let's start with the play call on 3rd and 3 and how you view it.
Nick Sirianni might have just saved the Atlanta Falcons season.
It's that big.
And I think he definitely changed the course of Kirk Cousins' season. And it's not because that one play did so much, but that one play allowed the Atlanta Falcons a chance to go be great. I believe it's a good play call, because if I'm Nick Sirianni and I know I want to go up, I want an opportunity to run the entire clock out, I'm going to put the football in the hands of my quarterback, who was the runner-up to the MVP 2 years ago, to my running back that I went out and spent big money on, who has a skill set that allows me to put him in the flat on a play I've seen work already tonight in that situation. He was wide open. The throw was exactly where it needed to be. It hit Saquon Barkley in the hands, one of the most talented players in the league, and he dropped it. But that's football. You make decisions as a head coach. You make the call as an offense coordinator if you're Kellen Moore, and then the players have to execute. And in that moment, as Saquon said, he didn't execute.
Then, still Atlanta has to go to the length of the field to have an opportunity to score a touchdown, make an extra point to take the lead, which they did. And we will discuss that in a moment. But just moments ago, Jalen Hurts, after this stunning meltdown, had these thoughts.
Obviously, it's a tough loss. But we'll learn from it. You know, I trust him every day of the week to make a play, just like everybody else. And so we'll be better from it.
We've seen the interception.
Just trying to make a play down the field. Trying to make a play down the field. He made a good play. I threw it a little too long. Just gotta continue to prepare in those situations and put ourselves in those positions so we can take advantage of it. I think in the end, I felt very prepared. You know, going into those moments. In that moment, we just didn't. Just won our time. It went for us.
Were you surprised at the play call we were expecting in the run on the 3rd down play?
It's not a matter of expectations. It's just a matter of executing what's called, and came up short in that moment.
I heard that the coaches saying, speaking of some players that led the talk after the game. Why do you think it was important for you guys to get the message out there? And what did you say to your teammates?
I'm sorry.
I heard that the players were the ones that broke down everybody tonight, and the coaches saying talk. Why do you think it was important for the players to speak in terms of tonight after the loss?
Just in the moment.
As you saw, it's the 4th loss since last year where they've had the lead in the last 2 minutes. I mean, this often hear me say it's a coin flip league. This didn't feel like a coin flip game.
Right.
It felt like it was in their hands, and then they lose it. I'm going to get to Atlanta in a moment. I just wonder, we saw them last year on a Monday night in Seattle. Drew Lock leads a length of the field drive. Jackson Smith and Jigman made a remarkable catch, and they lost, and you're wondering, how'd that happen, right? And that was all part of it spiraling out of control at the end of the year. Now you start a new year. It's a new group. Obviously, Kelsey and Cox have moved on, right? You've got this game almost put to bed, and you lose it. You said that maybe the course of Atlanta's season changes. How impactful might a loss like this be early on to this Philly team, Ryan?
Well, so I think what's important is how they rebound from the loss. When you look at last year, once things started to spiral, they were never able to find a way out of it. So it's not just about what happens tonight. Right. It's how this team regroups and goes forward. But this was an opportunity for Saquon Barkley, even with the great game last week, to say, I am one of those guys. I am now a Philadelphia Eagle that you can count on in the biggest moment. And it doesn't necessarily change that, but it doesn't make him that person. It doesn't give him that actual experience with these dudes where they called his number and he showed them, I'm going to be here every single time.
Yeah, but guess who did? Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And we talked about it honestly, openly on Countdown, right? They spent all that money on this guy to bring him to Atlanta, and then they draft Penix 8th. And he didn't look good week 1. He looked limited. He said he's not 100% physically yet. But on that drive, given a small little crack at the door, he kicked that son of a gun down with a remarkable drive. How significant for a dude trying to earn some stripes in a new locker room to lead that kind of drive, Ryan?
It's ultimately significant. You know, you go one way or the other in that moment. You can either tighten up and try to force things and say, okay, this is my opportunity to make everybody feel that I'm the guy for the job, that there are no more questions about me. I felt like this was the loosest we'd seen Kirk the entire night. You could see he was comfortable.
Totally agree.
He knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football. He read the coverages before the play, and he just let it rip. This is the first time in 2 games that Kirk Cousins just let it rip, and it was the most important moment of the game.
Drake London said it perfectly when he sat down. He said it was just a clean operation. Like, as we watched it back, I'm amazed. Like, that's hard to do, man. And it was easy the way they weren't stressed. They were never behind schedule.
Yes.
They were never in a 3rd and 15. Hell, they were getting chunk plays every play. I almost wondered, did they score too fast?
Yeah. SVP, it never got hard. You know, like normally there's a point in those 2-minute drives where it's a 3rd down or a 4th down, and me and you are sitting here on the sideline fired up because God let us watch it. Right? And we never got that moment. Once they got in the red zone, you think about those 2 passes he hits to Mooney. He hits Mooney on the post corner, then he throws him and out again. Kirk Cousins was in full control. And when it gets close to the goal line, you know who tightens up? The defenders.
Why?
Right? Because now the football has been driven. Now I'm biting on every move. And if you look at Darius Slay, as soon as we saw Drake London press him inside, he went right away. Because you know what? Now it's going to be on me. Right, they've driven this ball, but this one play is on me. And for Kirk Cousins and Drake London, it's pitch and catch. That's a great moment.
The minute he bites and he sees him break the other way, that's got to be a horrible feeling.
Oh, your whole stomach sinks into your buttocks at that moment because you understand that no matter what happened, the play that SVP is going to keep airing on his show is that one.
Yeah, the old stomach in the buttocks. That's never where you want it to be. Ryan Clark, you know what, man? This is the get-to job. This is one of those nights like, wow, I don't know how that happened. Appreciate your perspective.
Thank you, brother.
As always. Great to be with Ryan Clark every Monday night.